Hello, everyone. Today I have a pleasure of introducing Eva. She's a visionary behind Holistic Mama Online Summit, and Eva brought together a team of amazing coaches and experts to support mothers on different stages of motherhood, helping them to feel seen, understood, and empowered. And Eva is also a founder of Magic of Motherhood, where she blends nutrition, mindfulness, wellness, and self-care to help moms thrive. And she is also a certified yoga teacher. And this is noted because Eva is also integrative health coach with over 500 hours of training. So very impressive. And Eva has a great passion to help other moms, and it's all because her own transformation. When she was pregnant with her second daughter, Eva faced a crushing weight of burnout and exhaustion, feeling very disconnected from the joy of motherhood she had always dreamed of. And she found herself snapping at her children, very overwhelmed, stressed, and guilty, and trying to push through even harder, and she just didn't realize that this all is just effect of neglecting of her own needs. And it wasn't until she began her coaching training, Eva just discovered the importance of caring of herself. And by taking very small and consistent steps, she reclaimed her calm and she rebuilt beautiful connection and relationship with her daughters. And now Eva helping other women and other mothers through her coaching, her courses, and her signature program. And the program name is Path to Calm and Connection, where she empowered other women, other mothers to break free from overwhelm, to find balance and show up as their best selves. So I'm so excited to see you today, Eva. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Gosia, for this introduction. I'm really excited to be here. And to be honest, this whole summit that we are putting together, with which you are part of this summit as well.
Yes.
There is another interview that I made with you when we were talking about guilt. I think it's just a beautiful opportunity for us coaches to be able to provide for mamas. Because to be honest, modern motherhood is really challenging. It's so different from what our mothers or our grandparents lived, and mamas do need help. We do need help, and with this summit, we can provide for mamas, and I think it's a beautiful thing to do.
Yes, I also think like it's very amazing idea that you had, and thank you so much for inviting me. And today we are talking about your part of this program. So I think this is super important, and it's touching to every mother out there because like in motherhood we tend to generate a bit of big stress, I would even say, for mothers connected with cooking and spending time in the kitchen, because every one of us is doing that. So, as my understanding, your method in your program, you are teaching other moms how they can save time, how they can save some money, energy, and how it can be less stressful by batch cooking. So, can you just tell us a little bit about that kind of approach to nutrition?
Sure. So cooking has been always a big part of my life. It's something that, thanks to my mom, became just my everyday life. Since I was very little, I have been in the kitchen with her, helping out with peeling, or I don't know, just mixing together stuff and then licking the bowl, obviously. And it's kitchen was always something. It was always a nice and positive experience for me. And then during years I was working in hotels where I was given my lunch or my dinner, so I didn't have to worry about cooking for myself during the week. But then when I changed my career and I started to work in an office environment, then I had to start to cook for myself. And what I used to do is that on Sundays I would spend most of my Sundays in the kitchen and just cook all my meals for the week ahead. But at the time, it was like 5 very different meals, very elaborated. I would make some cakes, I would make some sweets as well, some salads, and all the 5 meals because I had time for it. And and now since when I became a mama, I have changed it, and now I also do batch cooking. So that's the big method that I'm using is batch cooking. Is basically that on Sunday afternoon I would spend 2, maximum 3 hours in the kitchen, and I would have all the meals ready for the week ahead. And now I have changed because it's not like I'm making 5 very elaborated different meals, but I make it in a smart way. So I cook bigger amounts of, for example, some rice, some pasta, some stews, legumes, and then I would mix and match and come up with different kind of meals for the week ahead.
Yeah, so I can see like your approach to batch cooking evolved because, like you said, when you were without your family, without your daughters, you had a different amount of time in your hands, so you could spend much more time, and probably you had also more energy to cook. But when we are moms, we have so much to do, and cooking is one of the things additionally on our plate. So this was one of my questions also, how motherhood like influence your approach to meal preparation and nutrition planning, because I imagine that your planning is much better now, because before probably you were cooking whatever you felt like, but now you have to like put more thoughts into it. Yes. Am I right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But nutrition and being mindful about what I'm eating, it has been I have been very conscious about it for decades, I can say that. But it's also true that in the past couple of years, I have started to transition more into plant-based nutrition. So it doesn't mean that I'm vegetarian. I'm not vegan. I'm not vegetarian. I'm just more mindful about eating more legumes, more plant-based protein, fresh veggies, and a lot of fresh fruits have been in my diet for ages. But I did reduce a lot the meat consumption. And I'm very mindful about what kind of meat I eat. So I would rather spend more money on less amount, but making sure that it's a very good quality. And I know where this meat is coming from. I know that animal had a quality life. It hadn't been stuffed with antibiotics and stuff like that. So the little meat that we eat is a good quality. And the method has evolved to be more efficient. So I spend, as I mentioned before, I would spend like, if I make sweets, like if I make some desserts, some cakes, some muffins as well, then I would spend like 3 hours in the kitchen. If I don't make anything like that, then it would be like 2 hours, and I have all 5 meals ready. I also must admit that I cook mostly for me and for my husband, because the kids are in school and they eat in school. They only come home for Friday for lunch. So I cook that meal, and then obviously for the weekend. And with batch cooking, the great thing about batch cooking is that you can save a lot of time, not just because you are not in the kitchen every single day cooking a full meal. You're just going in to warm it up, but also it helps you save time on shopping, because you have to make sure that when you are cooking, when you are in the kitchen and you cook all the meals, you have to have everything ready. You have to have all the shopping done. So batch cooking starts with meal planning. I usually on Thursdays, I would plan what I'm going to cook during the weekend. I do the shopping on Fridays. I go to the market. I go to the supermarket if I need to. And in one day, I do all the shopping. And during the week, I go maybe once, or if something really runs out, then twice. But that's all. I just have to run in and come out. I don't spend like half an hour every single day in the supermarket doing shopping, just cruising around and let's see what I can find kind of thing. So this way I save the time and I save the money, because what happens when you go into the supermarket? You go in for one thing and you come out with at least 5.
Yes.
Right? So this way, it
Yeah, I
happens to
just
you.
wanted to say, yeah, and very often you wanted to buy, for example, 3 things, you come up with 15, and all of the sudden from those 3 that you really needed, you just bought 1 because you forgot about those 2. So.
Yes, exactly. And then you have to go back and you spend even more time and money there. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, it used to happen to me as well. And when you are in the supermarket, they are designed for you to spend time and money there. So you're just cruising around. Here is an offer. There is an offer. Oh, let's buy this. And, you end up buying way more than what you need. And then you oftentimes you just waste it because it gets spoiled and you just have to throw the food out. And that's something that I really don't like to do either. So this is how it all comes together into the circle. Like, you have to plan ahead, then you do the shopping, and then you do the cooking in one go. In that way, you save the time, the money, and the energy, and you save the stress because you don't have to be there every single day. Like, what should I cook for dinner?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So Eva, tell me, do you have like maybe a list of different kind of meals like for lunch and for dinner that you are mixing during the weeks, or like every week looks very similar on your plate? How does it look like for you and your husband?
What I usually do is that the basic is very similar on during the week. So I have some whole grains. It can be either kamut, it can be whole rice, it can be millet, it can be buckwheat that I cook in a bigger portion. Also, it might be pasta, and then I always make some oven baked veggies, seasonal. That's also something that I'm very conscious about lately. Being intentional about eating with the season, because it's so easy to be out of synchronization with the nature today, because nowadays, because you go into the supermarket in December here and you can buy blueberries and strawberries, and I'm not supposed to be eating that. And where it comes from, it's very far away, and or it might be coming from somewhere here, but it's not the natural fruit that I should be eating. So I'm very intentional about cooking and eating with the season. So I would have a big batch of oven baked veggies as well. Usually I have some legumes. I like to play around with lentils, with beans, soy, and 1 week I'm chickpeas. I love chickpeas as well. So 1 week I might cook, I don't know, some chickpeas and some soy, and then the other week I would use beans and lentils.
Okay.
And also the great things about legumes and pulses that they are super versatile. So I can use them at autumn or winter time to make something that is warming. It would be a stew or something like that I make out of these lentils. But at summertime, I can also make a summer salad with lentils that is very cooling. So this way I can use the same ingredient. All I have to do is just change a little bit the way it's prepared at the end, because what I need to do is cook them. And then with the mixing, with the salad, with the final touches, I either turn it into a stew or I turn it into a salad.
Yeah.
And I like to have fresh salad as well every week, just to make sure that there are some greens, there are some fresh raw veggies included in our diet.
Yeah. When you tell about it, it sounds very simple.
It's easier than you think.
Okay.
It's just, it comes with the practice.
Yes.
In the beginning, I played around with it a lot. So obviously in the beginning, for me, it took me much longer as well until I figured out which way to cook and which way to prepare in order to save time. But once you have the blueprint for it, it's so easy. It can save you so much time and so much energy. It's just unbelievable.
So what you can say, like for someone who is new to batch cooking, like for example me, I never really batch cooked before. like, do you have some 3 easy tips how that kind of person can start without feeling overwhelmed and lost? Because every time when we are starting something new, we don't really know what to do. So just maybe you can give us like 3 or maybe 4, 5, whatever you prefer, like easy steps how to start with batch cooking.
Sure. The first step is plan out your meals for the week, because that's the base for everything. Once you know what you want to cook, you know what you need to buy, and then you know how to prepare it. Stick to something very simple, because I think it's underrated. Simple food, but you know, just stick to the basics, like nutrient dense whole foods. Avoid processed foods as much as you can, and then once you have your meal planning, I wouldn't recommend you to do all the meals. If you are just starting out, don't cook your entire week on one day, because it's going to be too much. Yeah. So if you can just prepare your next 2 or 3 meals, you are already going to feel like, oh, wow, okay. And then once you get into the rhythm, you can start cooking the stuff. So for example, you can buy a big chicken and just roast the whole chicken. And then one day you can use it to have roast chicken with some veggies, salad, or some rice. And then the other day you can use it for making a sandwich for dinner. Or another day, or what I like to use the chicken for as well is making a soup and then roast it. And so you can, I can use it either for one lunch or for one dinner. Also, you can just have a quick lunch option with the sandwich that I mentioned. So you cooked that chicken once, but you're eating 2 or 3 times out of the same chicken, just by changing the side dishes to it. So once you have the roasted veggies, and then the other day you make it into a nice sandwich with some salad, some tomatoes, and some avocado, for example, and it's just delicious and fills you up. Also, for batch cooking, what really helps is like using ingredients that I just mentioned before, like pulses and legumes, big batch of rice or a big batch of pasta, and then makes some salsa for it. For example, I like to use avocado to turn it into a mayonnaise. I like to use the avocado to turn it into a pesto. So again, just you use one avocado and then you turn it into different things.
Yeah. You like, from what you're saying, it's just you can do so much with even one chicken. I didn't really think about it like that. So yeah, it's amazing. And just like I like this advice that you said, like start with a shorter period of time, because sometimes, especially at the beginning, it can just overwhelm us a little bit. Oh my God, I have to now cook meals for 7 days. Like, how I can do it if I didn't do it before. So like starting with even 2 days or 2 meals, or just even one whole day, and see the benefits of it. I can see it. So
just like what I mentioned before with the chicken, you know, if you cook, for example, if you bake a chicken, but you usually just buy one half breast and one muscle, then you can buy the entire chicken. Just put it in the oven, have it ready, and then start playing around with, I don't know, one day use it with some pasta, some chicken, add some veggies to it, and then you have one meal. The other day you have the roasted veggies, some rice, and the chicken, and it's ready. You can turn it into some sandwich, or you can also have a big bowl of salad and put some chicken on it. You know, there are so many. It's really just up to your imagination how many meals you can come up with one ingredient.
Yeah, now I can see my mistake. Okay. I think I have to start, because like now when you are talking about it, I started thinking how I cook. And for example, I never really buy a full chicken. I buy, for example, chicken breast, and I do something for one dinner. But it's just one dinner, and I'm wasting so much time, because I'm already there in the kitchen, and I could just put this whole chicken in the oven, and it's basically like doing in its own thing by itself. I don't
Yes,
have to do much, and later I
you
can
just said
really
it.
use it for. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
just
that's
said it.
amazing. Yeah.
And when you put the chicken into the oven, you can put some veggies next to it. So you have the
Mm,
chicken and the veggies done at the same time, because the
mm,
most time that we need, or that we lose, said it very badly, in the
yeah.
kitchen, is by prepping. You know, when you have to
Yes.
peel, when you have to cut. But if I'm there and I'm cutting up one carrot, I can put two more carrots there and just cut them at the
Yeah.
same time, and I have three carrots cut up, and then you have not one meal but two or three done. You know,
Yeah.
so that's how batch cooking is
Mm,
going to help you
mm.
save the time, because you are already there. So it really doesn't matter if you are peeling one or three carrots. I mean, it's going to take a minute more.
Yeah. Now I understand a little bit more also, because at the beginning you said that cooking takes you like 2 or 3 hours and you have meals for the full week. And I was thinking in my head, how you do it? Do you have some magic wand that is just doing all the meals? But now I understand this a bit better.
Yeah, because also with cooking, we lose a lot of time by preparing and then with
Yeah.
cleaning.
Mm,
But if I
mm,
have to clean and I have to prepare for every single meal, there
yeah.
you are, or that's already like 30, 45 minutes that you are
Mm,
saving every single time, instead of prepping and cleaning every single day. You are doing it once. Yeah, usually
mm,
I make a bigger mess, obviously, because I'm preparing more stuff, but it's going to take me maybe 10
mm,
more minutes to clean up, and that's
yeah.
it. And then during the week I don't have to clean that much either,
Mm,
because I'm not cooking, I'm just warming it up.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Maybe yeah, you are slowly convincing me to start. I can see all the benefits, and for me,
Cool.
yeah, saving time is really a very very important thing. Of course, saving money, because I have to admit that I am this person that going to the, maybe I'm not going every day. I also try go once a week and do bigger shopping, but I always coming back with something that I didn't have on my list. So yeah,
It
I
always
can see
happens.
all the benefits. Yeah.
But if it happens only once a week, it's better than happening
Mm.
4 to 6 times a week, right? It
Yeah.
always
Yes.
happens, especially if you go with your kids. I mean, there
Yes.
is no way you can go in and not buy something for them.
Yes. Or you're going with them and you have to calculate that you have to buy something for them, or you're not going with them. This is
Yeah.
those two options, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But for that, I have a trick, because it used to cause me a lot of stress going in with my kids,
Mm.
especially with my older daughter, because she's like, she sees anything. I mean, I can take her to even to like a construction shop, and she would ask for something. It's just amazing. So now when I take her with me, I'm like, okay, you can choose one thing
Yeah.
during the
Yeah.
entire time, one thing you can choose. And then it also
Yeah.
good, it is also a good exercise for her to just know that, okay, there's going to be one thing, I have to be careful about it. And
Yeah.
I also know that I set a boundary and I set a limit that she has to
Mm.
respect.
Yes, yeah, I can say that it's working, because I have exactly the same situation with my older son. And when he was smaller, it was so annoying, because we were going to the shop, and before we went, I was like, okay, you're going, but mama is not buying for you anything. Okay, okay. The moment we went inside, I want this, I want that, I want that. And later, I
Of
just
course.
like learned my lesson that I can, like you said, like set this boundary, just one thing. I'm just like I'm so like straight and clear with him, and he's getting what he wanted, and I'm saving myself stress. So it has to be that some
Yes,
kind of balance, because sometimes this strict no, when they are just keep repeating
it's not gonna
the
work.
same, it won't go. Yes,
No,
and we are just getting stressed
no.
and annoyed without necessity. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
fully
I
know
learned
what
it.
you are talking
Yeah,
about.
I learned it exactly the same way as you did, because I used to be
Yeah.
like that. I'm not buying anything. And
Yes.
obviously, a hard no is not going to work with your kid.
Mm,
But
yeah.
if there is like, okay, you can choose one thing, then it's like, okay, I have given something, and she's happy as well that she's going to get something. And
Mm,
it's just impossible to go into a shop with a
yeah.
kid without buying anything, because the shops are designed for the kids to be
Mm.
like, I want that, I want that, I want that.
Yes, 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 exactly. But Eva, tell me, do you cook together with your daughters? How they are like feeling about cooking?
Yeah, they usually they like to come in to help me. Like when they see me that I'm preparing the veggies to peel, they are like coming in competition, like, I want to peel, which is great because I don't like that much. So it's a win-win situation.
Yes.
Yeah, I think for Christmas I'm going to get them a peeler. Then everyone is happy.
Oh, I
So
love that.
they do come in to help me, and I love that because that's something that I did with my mom, and that's how I grew to like to be in the kitchen and be conscious about the food and like home cooking.
Yeah.
And also when I'm making like energy balls or stuff like that, they come in to help me with making the balls or coating them in coconut or flax seeds. We just did that yesterday. That's why I'm so specific about it.
Okay.
So they do like to come in and help me, and I love that they like to be there and learn about what's going on. Obviously, when I'm making some cake, they are the first one there because they need to lick the spoon and the bowl.
But it's beautiful that they are involved because, like you said, they can watch, they can spend time with you together, and this is very precious time, like bonding. Because bonding is
Absolutely.
not happening just by playing with the toys. It's just spending time together, and cooking is like great opportunity to have a chat, to have a laugh, and just showing them that this is also part of life. And because
Yes.
you are eating very healthy and you are cooking healthy meals, you are teaching them from very young age like what kind of food is good for them, and hopefully they will take this lesson with themselves for the future, and they will just continue and cooking, like eating fresh veggies and some fruits and nice, like you said, like some kind of like good meat. It will be just normal for them because they
Yeah.
took it from you from home. So this is just beautiful lesson that you give to
That's what
them.
I'm hoping for as
Yeah.
well. Yes.
Yeah.
You teach what you preach.
Yes.
So I I like to eat very healthy, and I like to eat my salads and stuff like that. My daughters are usually say like, "Ugh, what's that salad?" But they see me eating it, so
Yes.
they are. It's going to be something normal for them. And it was
Yeah.
just yesterday. It was so funny. We were preparing. We made some chicken actually yesterday, so we were plating everything out on the kitchen counter, and I had the salad ready as well. And
Mm.
my daughter, actually both of them were there, they were like, okay, let me help you plating the food. So I was like, okay, you please help me with the salads, just put it on my plate and daddy's plate. And then the other one was helping with something else. And then Lily, my older daughter, she was like, oh, actually I'm going to have some salad and some carrots. I was like, what, who are you? And then we looked at each other with my husband like, who is
Is she
she?
sick?
Yeah, who is she? But it's also because in the school they are told that you need to try everything,
Mm.
and they are offered this kind of stuff as well. So that's why she was okay, like, okay, I'm going to have some
Mm.
salad and I'm going to have some carrot, but she wouldn't eat any pepper or anything like that. It was like, okay,
Mm.
don't ask me too much. But
Yeah. Yeah.
small steps, and she's already, it's just getting used to the taste and getting used to the textures.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's amazing. It's just showing what we were talking about, that they can observe, they can see this is part of daily life in your house, and even if on the day they don't want to eat this or that, they somewhere in the heads is this idea that this is a good food, it's good food for you,
Yeah.
and yeah, they will
Yeah.
just follow because this is
Yeah.
normal.
When I was a kid, I didn't eat salad either. I mean, let's be
Yes.
honest.
Yeah.
But because it was part of mom's diet as well, and the way she was cooking and the meals she was preparing, it became part of my life as well. And from kids, we can't really expect that, like, all the foods that we are eating.
Mm.
But if we are showing a good example, and we are setting the good example of by eating whole nutrient dense food, not
Mm.
processed, we are not going to fast food restaurants and stuff like that, we are not eating
Mm.
there every single day, then it's going to be part of their normal dietary choices.
Yes. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Very important. So I can see that food and healthy food is so important for you. It's just like integrated part of your life. Do you think like food can be a medicine, and how this like philosophy shapes some kind of recipes that you create?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do think that what we eat is influencing our well-being, mental, emotional, and physical
Mm,
well-being for
mm,
sure. And food can also help you heal. It
mm,
helps you avoid getting sick, and it
yeah.
also helps you heal.
Mm,
Food is not the only part of our health and wellness journey. That's something that I learned through my burnout, that because even during my burnout I was paying attention on my food, but
mm,
I felt crap because I didn't pay attention on other aspects of my health.
yeah.
So food is definitely something very important for nurturing our body. And I avoid processed foods. I avoid refined sugar in my
Mm,
cooking, refined flours, oils. I aim to go for stuff that are natural. So instead of refined sugar, I like to use dates. I like to use date sugar
mm,
or xylate to make things sweet.
mhm.
When I was long time ago, I did a sugar detox. I was about
Okay.
18, and since then I can't eat that much sweet. It's just too much for my taste buds. So it's very
Okay.
interesting, and I make sure that my kids are not getting that much sugar either.
Mm,
It's something I can control in my home, but obviously
mm,
when they are out on birthday
yeah.
parties or with their grandparents, they are going to be exposed to sugary food.
Mm,
But I think
mm,
that's okay. I try not to be too rigid about it,
yeah.
but definitely in my home, I wouldn't give them like a jar of Nutella,
Mhm, mhm.
because it's just pure toxic and sugar.
Yeah.
I make my own
Mm,
Nutella,
mhm,
and they love it.
mm,
They absolutely love it, and it has nothing to
okay.
do with the sugary thing.
Mm, yeah. So can you tell me like what inspired you? It was this sugar detox like years ago to just reinvent these traditional recipes. Like for example, you are talking about Nutella and that you just created your own healthy recipe. And can you share like some kind of like success story with that kind
Hmm.
of recipes?
Hmm. Yeah. So what inspired me, it was education basically. So it was something that comes from my mom. She was the one who started to be very conscious about what we are eating.
Mm,
She started to investigate more about sugar and food and what we eat, how it's affecting us. And I used to have a lot of problem with my skin. When I was a
okay.
teenager, I had really
Mm,
bad outbreaks, and I was like
mm,
in my early 20s, I still had really bad problems. And
mm.
when I did the sugar detox, it just cleared up. And ever since, I didn't
Okay.
have any problem. My problems
Mm,
with menstruational pain, it just disappeared after the sugar detox. And I just feel completely different. So
mm,
this is where all the inspiration came from, to investigate
mm,
more, like, okay, so if this helped me this much, what else can help me to
mm,
to be better? And one thing follows the next one. First it
mm,
was the sugar, and then we discovered more about the flours and what ingredients are used in processed foods. And you just keep learning, and you keep evolving. And what really inspires me is just being able to feel with vitality, with energy, being able to keep up with my daughters. I just want to be around them as long
mm,
as
mm,
possible, and I want
mm.
them to thrive. I want them to
Yeah.
see, full of energy, full of health, not being sick all the time. My daughter was actually, when she was born, she had a really bad eczema,
Okay.
and her doctor said that just put the cortisol cream on her, and that's it.
Mm,
And I was like, can we investigate a little bit, like what's going on?
mhm.
And they were like, oh, no, don't worry. No worries until she doesn't have asthma. You don't have to worry. I'm like, do we really have to wait until she has an asthma?
Oh,
Are you
Jesus.
sure? So that's when I started to investigate with a nutritionist to see what's going on, because I knew it was something in her gut that was out of
Okay.
balance. And I worked with her, and the problem has just disappeared. Her skin is completely fine, and everything is under control. And it was confirmed that it was in her gut. She had some imbalances in her gut. We work with that, and it's done. So that's another example of, like, you really have to be conscious about what you are eating, what you are feeding your gut with, because it's going to affect your entire health, your skin, your brain. There are so many studies that are showing the connection between your gut and your brain. So if you take care of your gut, you are going to have a really good mental health as well.
Yeah, it's really connected. And like you said before, like food can be a medicine, like depends on what we are struggling with our health. It won't be the only thing that can make us better, but for sure it can help a lot. So yeah, I think like, and I saw like some time ago, on Instagram, some kind of reel, and there was like a comparison that someone was showing, oh, my mom ate this and this, but like the comment was, okay, but when your mom was eating, I don't remember exactly what kind of products, like 40 years ago, it was much healthier than now, because now even a carrot that we think that it's healthy can be sprayed with different stuff. So we really have to pay attention what we eat and from where this food is coming from, because it's just, we are living in totally different conditions, totally different world these days. So we have to really pay attention.
So true. You just said something so important. Like, people usually say this, like, yeah, but my mom ate that and she's fine. Yeah, but 40, 50, 60 years ago, there were not that many people. There was not such a big demand for producing food. And now the way food is produced is totally different. And I saw something very similar on Instagram not too long ago, where they were showing, I think it was around Halloween. Yeah, when they were showing the sweets like 20 years ago, and what are the ingredients now. And what used to be like this ingredient list is like this now. It's like, that's not good. That's not good. And it's the same food, but they just have to put in so many fillings and so many, I have no better word, shit stuff into it. Otherwise they can't keep up with the production.
Yes, that's true. And it's just, reality is just different. I even remember, because like when I was a girl, it was, like 30 years ago, we didn't really have an opportunity to go to the shops and buy, I don't know, some candy bar or chocolate, that kind of stuff. But because we were kids, we wanted to eat something sweet. So I remember that every Saturday, me and my sister and my mom, we were baking some kind of cake, like, I don't know, with apples or whatever fruits we had, because it was like summertime. So this was our sweet stuff. So even if there was like a normal flour and all of that, we didn't have those extra stuff in it. So it was still cake, it was still sweet, it was still with sugar, but it was once a week, and it didn't have those extra ingredients that you are talking about. So it was different reality.
Yes, absolutely. And that's something very important you just said again, the sugar, how much sugar we consumed even 20 years ago. And I don't even touch on how much sugar they consumed like 50, 80 years ago, because it has nothing to do with what we are consuming today. And sugar is so toxic for our bodies. It's just mind-blowing when you start reading and investigating about it. It is just amazing that it's still legal to put so much sugar into our foods, like from breakfast cereals to the lunch meat, like the salamis and stuff like that. You have sugar in every single food, and it's just accumulating so much and damaging so much our gut linen. It's just mind-blowing.
And additionally, it's very addictive. There are studies that is so addictive, sometimes more than some kind of drugs. So that's, I fully agree with you. Like, it's still weird that it's legal, to be honest, because
Yes, but it's the big foods and the big pharmacies that are playing with our health there. And that's the biggest problem, because the big pharmacies are usually the owners of the big food companies as
Yeah.
well. So they are making us sick so they can sell the other stuff.
Yeah.
And when they can sell you the medicines, then they can keep selling you more medicines, because the medicines are going to have secondary effects. So it's just mind-blowing how much everything is interconnected and not on your favor.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You really
That's
have to
why,
be conscious. Yeah.
yeah, you have to be conscious, and it's so amazing that you integrating that kind of stuff in your program, like showing moms that they can really improve overall like daily life and well-being of families and her family and themselves with simply like paying attention what they are cooking and what they are eating every day. Yeah.
Absolutely. It has such a big effect on how you feel, how you live, how long you live, in what
Yeah.
conditions, and how much diseases your kids are going to get. It's just all interconnected, like the sugar and the amount of asthma there are nowadays, or the amount of cancer is out there. It's all connected. All these diseases, these new modern diseases that are just, it's an epidemic. It's all connected to our food.
Yeah. 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 It's really amazing conversation. I have so many takeaways for myself. We started with batch cooking and we finish on food as a medicine. I just love it, and I'm hoping. Do you share this recipe for healthy Nutella somewhere?
I can share it on. Yes, you know what? I'm going to make a downloadable about it, because for
Okay.
Nutella I have like at least three, but sometimes no, I would say I can come up with 5 different Nutella recipes
Oh
that have
wow.
nothing to do with the original one, and your kid is going to love it. So I'm going to, you know what? I'm promising that I'm going to make a downloadable ebook, and then you can download it with this workshop. Okay?
Oh, it's amazing. Yes, I will wait for it because my
Okay.
son, he loves pancakes, and if I can put on the pancakes some healthy Nutella, yeah, it will be just
That's where
amazing.
I'm using it a lot as well. and
Okay.
and even my picky older daughter, she loves it. She would eat it. Like one of the versions has actually avocado as a
Yeah,
base,
yeah.
and she loves it and she eats it. And when she sees avocado, she's like, ugh. But then she eats this Nutella version, like, yes, give it to me.
And can you tell me, like, from the moment when you make this Nutella, for how long you can store it in your fridge?
It can be stored for like 3 days, but it
Okay.
doesn't last that long.
So it has to be
I,
very good.
yeah, it's like I would say like 3-4 days without any problem, but it doesn't, in my house, the one that I prepare, it doesn't last longer than 2 days. I don't
Okay.
make big batches. That's true as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would use one avocado, and then
Mm.
if I make 12 pancakes, I use it for that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And it's everything healthy and fresh as it should be. Yeah. Amazing.
Yes,
Yeah. I
absolutely, and
love it.
not packed with sugar or palm
Yes.
oil.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh,
Okay.
great.
Now I'm gonna go and prepare the ebook.
I have to tell you that you made me hungry with this whole conversation.
Great. Well, not so
But
great for you, because you are just about to go to sleep, right?
yeah, so for me it's 8 p.m. so I won't eat anything because I'm already after my dinner, and I try to not to
You're
eat after my
fasting.
dinner. So, but I like really, you made me think about all those benefits of batch cooking and how to really like look on what we are eating and like analyze what is good, what is bad for us. So I think I will start, and I will start probably maybe like for 2 days, so it won't overwhelm me and it
Great.
won't crush
Yes,
me. So it's not too long, and
that's the best way to do. Yeah.
yeah. So it's
Yeah, because you
amazing.
need to get the practice. You need to get what is working for you, what is not.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
usually I'm in the program, I'm giving ideas, and then you make it fit your
yes,
taste, your
yeah.
time frame, and whatever
Mm.
works for you and your family. It's just having the idea that you can turn into your own version.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right. So
Cool.
thank you so much for today. It was a pleasure. And thank you so much for putting all this summit together, gathering those
My
amazing
pleasure.
coaches, because I'm so sure, and I can't wait. All the moms who will watch it will benefit from it so much. And I'm so excited. I'm just waiting
Yeah.
when it's finished and when it's done, and I can share with everyone who I know, because I know a
Yeah.
lot of moms also. So I know that they are also waiting.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for having this idea and for today's conversation.
Well,
Because
thank you, Gosia, for
it
being
just
part of it, because your interview was very interesting about mom guilt as well. I highly
thank you.
recommend to all moms to watch that one as well, because I had so many takeaways from there as well.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
have a nice day, because it's day for
Yes.
you.
Yes, it is. Sleep well.
Thank you. See you around. Bye, Eva.
Bye.